aka GK Fralin, a friendly community, and we are. Welcome.
How did you like that opening? Was that sinister enough for the upcoming Halloween? I could not speak like that. Thank goodness for effects or for being able to speed and slow film down. Oh, that was fun. It was fun for me to do. I don't know how it was for you, but I enjoyed it. Boo. Anyway, what did you think of the Raven? There have been a lot of theories through the year about Poe and about this poem. I don't know if anybody's ever explained who Lenore is. I know he had lost loves in his life, but anyway, just from the preface that he made yesterday, that I read yesterday. Pardon me, had to put in a new cannula this morning. I'll tell you that story later. Anyway, the way he ends this poem, that bird has been dead and stuffed and put back up on that bust of Pallas. Listen to this. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of the demons that it's dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Now I get the very, very, and I don't know about you, but I get the very distinct idea that bird ain't live no more. Edgar has a bit of comedy to him. Admit it. He's not all this serious dude that everybody thinks he was. I really think there was a lot of comedy to him. And yeah, he mixed it with the darkness inside of himself, maybe. But I really think, just in The Raven, you know, there's so many versions you can listen to. There's the old Christopher Plummer, the deep voice, the menacing sounds. And then there's more comical versions that are too comical. Edgar had some funniness to him. I mean, Stephen King has some weird nightmares, but he still has a sense of humor too. Perfect for Halloween. Anyway, Joe's sitting over here. I don't think he's awake at all, but he grunted. He's sitting over there sleeping, tapping his toes, if he is asleep. Are you asleep? He's asleep. Sometimes he plays games with me. Anyway, see, he just tapped his toe again. I think he's playing a game with me. Joe, you weren't asleep. You were. Then why did you tap your toe when I said he was tapping his toe? He was asleep. He's sitting there looking. He didn't know he did. I think it came through when I said something. It's fun to play with him. I mean that way. Yeah, it is your bedtime. It's after 10:30. It's a good thing it's not a work night. It's always a work night for you. Anyway. The weather's still dreary, just like in the Raven. It's a night that is dark and dreary. And I sit here evermore. Okay, I come in with that cheesy smile. I won't do that. I'll cut that out. Anyway, it's time for me. Fidget spinner. Fidget spinner. Right there. This is what I do when I have too much trouble keeping my hands from my face. I fidget spin. Okay. Now for the story of the new cannula that is actually funnier than heck. Okay, here is the thing. I woke up this morning, right here. This is my new place. Anyway, I can't handle that bed, and Joe can't handle the feet up or the head too much, and he cannot handle a soft bed. So this is what we've come up with. And it's just with my breathing and my mask and everything. Anyway, it's just that time. Anyway, I don't want to go there. What I want to do is, okay, this morning I woke up. We all do that. We wake up every day. Most of the time. Okay. I couldn't find my cannula. This was all hooked in, from here. It was all hooked into the CPAP machine for the night, and I had been sleeping very well. And I woke up, and I am looking around. And I had one of those 4-foot long ones that they had me putting on a swivel so that it wouldn't tangle this so much. So it was big. I should have been able to find it. Anyway, so generally I put it over here on this table. And I was like, I turned on, it was still somewhat dark. It was about 7, not quite 7. Anyway, you know what we all have to do when we first wake up in the morning, okay? Get that picture. I'm dancing. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I get my phone, and I turn my little camera on. Not camera. I turn my little light on. Don't expect me to speak perfectly because I never have. Okay. I turn my light on, and I'm shining it. And I'm feeling around, and I'm digging, and I'm trying to grasp something that isn't there. The other place, if this is closed at night, I'll sometimes curl it up and set it on top of here. And I had shined my light over here too. No cannula. Okay, by now I've taken my mask off. I've undone my oxygen because I thought I was just going to hook up. By now I'm getting a little breathy. So, okay, you see me. Okay, so let's just take this off for a little bit. And imagine that I have just been all over the place. Now, I'm out of breath by now. So what do? I hook back up and I put the mask back on. And I'll put this back on just to be on the... I'm probably at 90-something%, so I'm fine, but... Anyway, so I shined my light around the floor. Maybe it was there. I started looking through my linens because I have a few times curled it up or wound it up and laid it here on my linens, on my bed or whatever, thinking that I would put it up and then falling asleep. So when I wake up, generally it's laying right there. And it wasn't. And I went through my linens. I went through the sheet. I went through my fuzzy. I went through everything. Could not find it. I was being very gentle. Finally, I started getting frustrated, and I whipped it. Still couldn't find it. So I'm hollering at Joe, who is slumbering very peacefully until then. Anyway, a couple of times it took me, but I finally woke him up. I was getting desperate because I was sitting here like this, you know? Guys, you do it too, okay? It's a morning thing. TMI. Anyway, so he comes in here. He can't find it either. But what I had hollered at him because I was desperate. I said, Joe, bring me a cannula. I need a cannula. What happened to when I lost it? Just bring me a cannula. Well, hold on a minute. It's like, I can't. So here he comes, and he's brought my last short cannula that I'd forgotten I even had. At least I think it's the last one. Anyway, I've still got plenty of the 4 and 7 foot things, but those generally I save for my portable. But they've had me using the one with the swivel on it, which I had sitting there. It looks like this, and it twists back and forth like this, so that what happens, I will clean that, I promise, so that both ends have a female end inside these, and it swivels with the longer one so that the green tubing isn't tangling and getting kinked so bad, because, oh, we've had a problem with that. Anyway, so finally, we get me hooked up, and I go do what I have to do. And I come back, and he's been looking and just going through and looking the whole time. And he finally finds it. It is on the floor at the foot of the bed. In the dark, do you know how easy it is to find something that is as clear as this on the floor? But he had turned the light on. And I think he started at this end and worked that way. But by the time I wasn't back in here very long, and he had found it. And so then I said, well, just throw it away. Well, I had just changed it a few days before. I said, well, just throw it away. And he kind of, Joe's a waste not type of a guy. And I kind of agree with that with some things. But this is my breathing. And I know the air we breathe is not sterile. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. But there's no sense in keeping a breeding ground for it and then trying to use it again. I have rinsed them before and stuff, but that's generally if I'm down to the last one and don't have any choice. It's only been once or twice that I've actually had to do that, because most of the time they ship them to me right on time. So anyway, but that is the story of this cannula and why it's new and why it is bugging me so darn much. Enjoy that one too. Okay, I've got less than a minute to say goodnight. So I love you all. I hope everybody's safe and back tomorrow. And I love you. Good night.